Welcome to Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news, trends, and insights from Littlefield Agency. Grab your coffee, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. I'm Sam Littlefield. With me is
Steve Roop.
Steve Roop, there he is. Hey, we have a bone to pick. We just had Chelsea in our ear. Chelsea and Kenny need to get off their high horse and they need to be nice to Claudia and Roop.
Yeah.
We're in here. We're trying to set up. We're trying to get in the right mindset for our podcast. And we're 20 minutes delayed. 10 minutes of that was my fault. 10 minutes of that was Chelsea and Kenny's fault.
Yeah.
They're coming at us with some bull.
Yeah. This is an episode where I'm going to have to edit a lot.
Boom! There he is, baby, out of the gate. I love it. Yeah, anyway, so Chelsea and Kenny, please, we're trying to podcast and focus. Here's the thing. We're talking to you. They're not even listening. We know for
they're not going to listen to this. So.
No, I'm just going to throw it. We know for a fact that they're not listening. You can edit that out, too.
Chelsea's dad will tell her about it.
We're fired up. I will tell you, though, if you are watching this episode, if you are not in Spotify and you're on our landing page, go to the header image video because Claude went Kobe and made the shot of the century into this small little bucket with her marker. Anyway, you won't see the end result, but you will see our facial reactions. Very cool. Here's the second thing. Ben Colvin. Big shout out to Benny Colvin, Woody River Hardwoods. If you are watching this video, you will see this beautiful, beautiful table. Ben made this table for us. Ben made a gathering table for us. Ben made two benches for us just because he likes us. And he was featured in Tulsa People magazine, and he got a lot of love, and he deserves it. He's a craftsman. He's an artist. He's a woodworker. He's the modern day. Who's the woodworker? Wasn't Jesus? Joseph.
Modern day?
Joseph, the father of Jesus. There you go, Ben. We're so excited for you. We're so honored to have your stuff in our studio. The other day, we got a couple other updates. Guys, this is kind of a long housekeeping. Again, we were here last week, but it feels like it's been 2 weeks ago. My best friend in the whole entire world, Price Atkins. Price, 29 years we've been best friends, and he just married the love of his life. Her name is Deepa Puwar Atkins now, and it was my first Indian wedding, and it was the coolest frickin' thing of my life. My voice is a little raspy. My legs are a little tired. I learned three dances. Actually, no, I think it was 4. But it was a heck of a time. I'm holding up here. I've got henna on my right hand. It says RPA, Richard Price Atkins, with a cool little decor. Tara's hand looks even cooler. If you have not been to an Indian wedding and you have the opportunity to do so, it's the coolest thing.
I just learned.
Have you ever been to one?
Oh yeah. They're an event. I just learned that Price's first name isn't Price.
It's Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Richard.
It changes how I look at him.
100%.
Back to Price.
No, I know. So anyway, so we're so happy for Price and Deepa, and seriously, it was just one of the coolest moments. So many really rich, cool traditions. The food was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I probably averaged 3,000 calories a meal.
But then you burned it by dancing.
But I burned it by dancing.
Oh,
seriously, no, it was
it.
absolutely great. So anyway, we got that going. Yesterday we were in Missouri with H.E. Williams. Awesome media plan. Chris, Kelly, Chad, and Becca did such a nice job. Such thoughtful conversation with Adriana, Jenny, and Michelle. 3 straight hours working lunch from 10 to 1. Boom, 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 boom. Onto it. Good collaborative conversation. Good next steps. Always good to see our friends at H.E. Williams. And then we have Kristen and Maya from Ditch Witch in-house later this afternoon. We are rocking and rolling with our clients on this Monday yesterday, Tuesday today.
Yeah.
Do you have any housekeeping updates?
I do not.
Why is it always me, huh?
Yeah, I leave it to you.
I know.
I do the rest of the script.
You know what, though? We have a really good rest of the script, a really interesting rest of the script, and we're going to get into our digital trend for today, Claude. So last week, was it last week?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay. So we fact-checked that. Last week at the end of our episode, we kind of teased this really cool topic, and we couldn't just kind of mention it. We have to go into it. Mm-hmm. And Roop, I want you to lead us in this, in the eyes of you as our AI director, and in the topic of agentic browsers. What?
Yeah, what is an agentic browser?
Wow, what a time, man. What a time to be alive. Hey, Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Well, a lot of the world may have heard, and this has been a week or two back, OpenAI announced their new browser called Atlas. It's an agentic browser. It's still a browser like what you would imagine Chrome or
Safari
or anything like that is. But it is
Firefox.
Yeah, I use it
Firefox still a thing.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But Atlas has AI powers to it, and it's not just kind of a bolted-on AI experience where you click a button in the top and a little window opens and you can do AI. That is there, but it goes a little deeper and has a little bit more more of a shift from what we're used to in browsing and in the experience of browsing. They're also not the first to roll this out. Perplexity has Comet that's out there as well. Comet to me was not quite, and I played
Atlas sounds better, by the way.
It sure does. Comet and Atlas. Look at that. Comet is fine. It's a good browser. Atlas, though, had a lot more to it. So I'm almost to the point of where I'm about to switch my default browser to Atlas.
What?
Yeah.
From Chrome?
Yeah. Now, I know it's a big move, but I have had both up and been playing with both for 2 weeks, and I'm really enjoying the Atlas browser quite a bit. So, what is an agentic?
So what's the difference?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Right. So an agentic browser can think and act rather than just display pages. So
if I type in ESPN.com here, right?
Yeah.
Great. If I do it in Atlas,
you'll still get ESPN.com.
Yep.
But you might say, you might read an article about the Dodgers winning the World Series and how close that game was. And
it's a heck of a Game 7, by the way.
Sure. You might say, hey, AI here, can you tell, or it's ChatGPT, it's built in there for Atlas. You say, hey, can you tell me the next 5 closest games in history? And it'll go look those things up.
I don't have to open up a new tab.
No, it'll be right there. But like the other thing that's kind of cool about the most obvious thing is cool about it is you can have it take over the screen. So let's say you're going to sign up for ESPN Plus or something. I don't know why anybody would. I hear all kinds of problems right now with ESPN Plus. But say you were going to, and they've presented you with 2 or 3 forms, and you're just like, yeah, I don't want to do all this. You can have Atlas fill the form out for you, and it literally takes over the screen. It has like a little mesh of light on top of the screen. You can stop it and take over yourself, but it'll go through and say, okay, you knows your name. And that's autofill, basically.
It's autofill.
Okay, so
just without the click, I guess. Yeah.
So let's go a step further. So that's autofill. I frequently find myself looking at data in spreadsheets in HubSpot or in Google Analytics, things like that. I have not turned this loose on any of our accounts yet, so nobody worry about that. If Chris and Philip are listening,
neither are.
Neither are, right? But for myself, I have a little side gig, and I use Google Ads to get traffic to it. So I hate Google Ads. I'm so glad we have someone like Chris here that can navigate that world.
You personally just don't like messing with the back end of Google Ads.
It makes me hurt.
It drives your business, though.
It should, but it's really difficult to navigate, I find. So like some people are really adept at it. I'm just not. So I thought, what would happen if I let AI take a crack at like, what am I doing wrong here? And so I go to my Google Ads account, I turn on ChatGPT, and I say, hey, my ads are not running at the rate they should. They've been on for a month. Can you take a look at it and tell me? The agentic browser says, sure. It goes right in, asks for permission to view the page and to do access the account. I'm like, sure, go for it. What do I care? It's not working now. It went in, made some tweaks, adjustments, came back and said, here's what I think we should do. Do you want to do it? Yeah, I want you to do it. That's what I said. It goes, great. So it goes, knocks it out, and they started running again. So it wasn't so much that it was, the difference between
troubleshooting.
Right. Like if you're in an LLM and you just pull up traditional ChatGPT, you're having that discussion, but bouncing back and forth maybe between a website to execute the recommendations it's making. Here they kind of become one thing. So you can talk directly. It immediately understands the page it's on, the context of the page. Oh, and another thing that's kind of different about it, it has a different way of remembering your history. So it understands context and what you were doing. So if you are looking for sweaters, it's almost sweater season, and you were shopping for blue sweaters, you went through 4 or 5 different websites, and you put one in the shopping cart, but you didn't buy it, and then you lost all those tabs or you closed them out. You can come back to Atlas and say, hey, I was looking at a blue sweater and put it in a shopping cart a few weeks ago. Can you go find it? Boom, here it is.
Boy, brands are going to love this.
Yeah, there's some stuff that's kind of cool about it. There's some stuff I think that people are going to be nervous about. Trust, the trust issue with AI is still there, and now you're kind of giving it a lot of power over your browsing experience. But it is an evolution of the browser to me. It does look like the next step, even if ChatGPT's Atlas does not become the next big agentic browser, and I think it probably will. This concept is pretty powerful. It really is the next step.
So why should marketers care? We're talking about this. It's groundbreaking. It's new. It's shiny. But why should marketers care?
So if Atlas can interpret web pages and plan things and do actions on your behalf, the implication for you as a marketer is what will those agents be doing to discover and summarize your content? Is it marked up in a way that, and we've been harping on this for a couple of months now, but like one of the big things I think that brands are not ready for, most web pages are not ready for, is the schema markup and the coding on the back end to make sure your content's presentable, digestible, and understandable by AI.
And we just talked about schema markup. It was either last week or the week before.
Yeah,
they're blending together, but just
we'll be talking about it forever.
Previous podcast, tune in.
But like it's pretty important. So content. Oh, I wrote in this notes. Content. So brands can speak to a machine audience. Like if you have your humans that are digesting and taking in your pages, but you also now have to consider these agents that are kind of these fake people that are going to represent big audiences at some point.
I'm going to try this out. So I was just for fun. We have a couch in our home that's just gross. 2-year-old, 5-year-old hands just touching it with God knows Cheez-Its and all this stuff. And I was like, just look and kind of not in the market, but just kind of preemptively looking at a couch. Mm-hmm. And I'm still traditional, which is weird to say. Went to just Google search and just looked at sponsored content. What you're saying is, something like a browser like Atlas, I can go in, I find that L couch that I'm looking for, my tabs get deleted to the example that you provided. And it's like, hey, what was that couch? But also like, hey, I'm like, based off the fibers of that couch, the color, the style, like, throw me 5 other options from other brands.
Yeah. And so
instead of me just scrolling through Google search and Google shopping, I guess. That's what you're saying. I mean, that's the interesting part from a content standpoint.
So yes, and so if one way to think about it is what we've been talking about, and what I think the difference between what's happening now and what the future holds for agentic browsers is, we talk a lot about going to ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. It's still a destination website for you.
That's true. A tab within your browser.
In any browser, right? An agentic browser, it's not a destination. You can still go there, but like it's just always present. So you're always having access to it. In fact, when you pull up a new window to search, mine you can set any default you want, of course. Mine defaults on Chrome to Google, because usually you're starting with a search or something there. By default, it loads up the LLM page. Like it just loads.
Yeah.
And as you type, and if you say ESPN, it'll say .com. Do you want to go to browser? Or do you want to ask me a question about scores last night? Like it's kind of working with you to understand what you do and what you want
Seamless.
to do. Yeah, it's really quite incredible. I should also point out at this point, for people trying to go Google and find it right now, if you didn't already know this, it's currently only available for Mac users on desktop. There's not a mobile version of it. Windows users don't have access. That's coming. That's all coming.
You're watching the video. I've got my Mac up right now.
Yeah, so
kind of go download it.
A lot of the stuff we're talking about now is really we're probably beta testers in a way for them, but I bet it gets a little stronger. Some of these features adjust before it releases to the rest of the world.
Give our listeners, let's go 2 to 3 strategic takeaways.
Okay. So
for brands,
for
marketers and for brands. So
I think how, again, we've talked a lot about getting your content ready for AI. I think this is gasoline on that fire, which was already a pretty big fire. Agentic browsers aren't going to replace us or replace what we do, but it will change a little bit how people digest content and experience your brand, and how they interact with it. And I think that means you're going to have to do a lot of work now for a lot of reward here in the near future. But it's not difficult work. The schema and the code, all that stuff sounds scary. This stuff we know how to do. It's just a matter of having the discipline to sit down and do it. You're going to need to have clear structured data, structured content, and reliable facts that agents can easily index and recommend. And that part I maybe don't talk enough about, but the problem of trustworthiness with AI comes down to the content that it's presenting, right? So it'll go out and grab content and present an answer. If that answer is demonstrably false or off, the user lose faith in it as a system. So it by nature wants good, verifiable fact content. So you as the content provider can do that. It's up to you to kind of present that stuff and weed out the fake stuff. So really good factual content is really important. And then the other note I made here was
I love it.
this is the time to experiment.
Say it with pride, man.
Experiment while the risk is low, right? Brands that adapt now will have a head start when the adaptation really accelerates, and it's probably coming. I think by summer we'll see a lot of people kind of starting to get on board.
That was one question I had, is just how the adoptability of this, right? And Roop, I think, nailed it. Of like, get in early. We're very, very early stages. And experiment. And as you're experimenting and you have questions, reach out to Roop. He's our AI director. He knows this stuff really, really well. You're experimenting yourself, right? And we always tell our clients, and this is the God's honest truth, we experiment on our agency all the time, web, social, et cetera, just to try things out so we can bring it to our clients. We got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And it's I think a really good mindset, especially at this stage of the game.
I will add, for the people that are aware of this and want to say Roop sucks, which is totally fine. Say I suck.
Who's that, man?
Totally fine. They're out
Chelsea
there.
and Kenny.
They're out. Yeah, probably. There was, when this launched, some of the tech world got together and immediately like, well, there's some insecurities with this that we don't like. There's some problems with OpenAI's Atlas browser and security, and it made a lot of people skeptical because of the whole trust factor there. I believe they've since patched some of that stuff. Okay. It's probably still going to be present, but I honestly, man, I look at that and say, so you trust Google more than you trust Amazon more? I mean, trust is an issue across the board. I think AI, because it's such a disruptor, gets a lot more attention in that area. And it, as a response, there's definitely some things you always want a human in the loop. That phrase still matters, but yeah, the whole idea that like this browser's going to steal your credit card and go to town. That was happening before this browser was ever released.
Totally.
I don't really worry too much about that. If they're going to get me, they're going to get me. It's kind of how I look at it.
No, this is.
But I do want to point out that was a
point.
concern early on. I believe those are being addressed.
So for those that have Macs, download it.
OS X,
experiment.
Yeah.
Take a look at it. Drop us a note. Let us know. Next week, we're going to focus on something we don't usually focus on often: e-commerce. In the sense of OpenAI, because
OpenAI is partnered with PayPal, and we think that may have some big implications for brands.
Right? So whether you're selling on the commercial side or the consumer side, we live in the world of e-commerce, and we're going to discuss that. We're going to explore that. We're going to dive in, and we can't wait to do it with you next week. Roop, thank you so much. Claude, thank you. Great shot. Check out that header image and video. Roop, I forgot to mention too, your hair's flowing nicely, buddy. I'm jealous.
My
really
lady
nice.
cuts my hair on maternity leave. I could have gotten in next Wednesday, but I'm
let
not.
that keep growing, buddy.
It's December 1st is when I'm going into the chair.
Truly, wow.
Yeah,
It's a month
Fabio.
away. It's incredible. To our listeners, as always, you're investing 20-ish minutes of time with us. We greatly appreciate it. It is early November. We don't have that many episodes left for this year, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
So let's saddle up, not strap. Let's saddle up. My brain's still recovering, okay? We're going to saddle up. We're going to cruise through the end of the year. We will see you next week. Thank you so much. Roop, thank you.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap. We hope you found a spark of inspiration for your marketing strategy. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us at Littlefield Agency to keep the conversation going. Catch you next time.